Good kill, good kill. Hey, good kill.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here in the F-18 Hornet today. Sometimes I feel like the Hornet doesn't get, the credit it deserves when it comes to air-to-air combat. It's a jack of all trades. It's not the best thing you're ever going to find for air-to-air, but it's pretty good. We're flying over here, over Navy strike group here. You saw the carrier right there. And there's a Russian fleet over there somewhere. It looks like they're already shooting at them. Our job today is to fight a Sukhoi 33 who is armed with the Fox 3 R77-1. Big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel so far, 480,000-ish, so appreciate you. I am trying to locate this Sukhoi 33. Should be in this general direction here somewhere. Notice that I have the, there he is, got him on a little RWR spike there, right off the nose. And he's locking me. You'll notice I have the radar on a 20-degree sweep, lets me find the bandit much quicker. We have them at 36 miles. By the way, if you want to pick up the Hornet, there's your code on the screen there. Probably won't be there much longer. We're coming to the end of this little discount period, so if you want to pick it up, now would be the time. 32 miles and we're climbing to get into thinner air. 30 miles. Below Mach 1. It's not ideal, but that's what we got. Such is life with the Hornet. I'm also carrying 3 bags, which we're going to have to drop at some point. Okay, this looks good. Fox 3. Defend. Bags are fuel tanks, for anybody who doesn't know. We're going to push the bandit to the gimbal limit of the radar. We're going to hold him there. And what that's going to do is we're going to defend, which is going to decrease the closure time. It's going to drag his missile away, so it's actually a defensive maneuver. We're also diving, which is dragging his missile into denser air. Again, another defensive maneuver, yet he's on the gimbal limit, which means we're still providing guidance to our own missile. Listen for the tone for his missile. There it is. You hear that? The increase, the tone of the RWR increase, so that tells me that his missile, his R77-1, just went active, went pitbull on me. So I'm off cold. I provided as much guidance as I could to my own AMRAM, and hopefully that was enough. The Sukhoi 33 is a pretty good aircraft, especially with the modernized Fox 3s. She can be a little bit of a pig in a dogfight. She's pretty heavy, but overall pretty good aircraft. Recommitting here. Yeah, the missile's still in front of me, but it's underneath me and it's not going to have energy to climb up here. Once you go cold for like, 3-4 seconds, if it hasn't hit you by then, it's not going to hit you. You're safe. Should be off the nose here somewhere. Gotta pick this guy up. Come on, where you at? Data link is saying, yeah, here he is. Come on. There we go. Got him locked at 21 miles. And I'm just going to go ahead and push him. He has ID'd hostile, that's why he's red. He's been IFF'd, interrogate friend or foe. Okay, got him now at 17 miles and closing. $16 miles. This looks good, Fox 3, and we'll defend. Now again, I see this comment all the time. I'm once again hitting the crank here, as you guys can see. We're actually off cold because the missile just went pitbull on me. So many people are going to ask in the comment section, why do you keep using STT lock? Why don't you use TWS lock? I've talked about this in past videos. TWS lock, not very reliable. STT lock, much more reliable. The only advantages you get from TWS is multi-target launch, which is not a scenario here. And the other one is element of surprise. But we talked about this, the Bandit, if he's worth anything, he's going to assume you launched in TWS. So there's no surprise factor when it comes either. I would much rather have a more reliable lock with the STT. Much harder to break that lock, the single target track. And much more reliable lock. And, you know, once you launch, if you're already in the no escape zone, it doesn't matter if he knows the missile was launched. You know, he's not going to escape it anyway. Looking for him on radar here. Got him. 21 miles again. Climb a little bit here. We want to get into thinner air. Increase the probability of our missiles hitting him. 17 miles at 12,000 feet, 0.9 Mach. Not great again. Okay, got him now at 15 miles, 14 miles, Fox 3, and we're gonna crank. Okay. Start decreasing altitude, 12 miles through 12,000 feet. Missile has gone pitbull on me. I'm off cold. Defend here. Broke the lock. It's close enough. The AMRAAM should be able to hit him. If you break lock with the AMRAAM before it goes pitbull, it's okay. The AMRAAM can turn on its own radar. If you guided it close enough to the target, it'll just pick him up and it'll try to hit him itself. If there was way too much separation, you broke the lock way too early, you forced it pitbull way too early, then it might not see him and it'll go stupid. Drop tanks. And recommit vertically. Point the nose. It is kind of difficult. You get disoriented a little bit. When the sky and the ocean merge, you know, the horizons come together in the distance, it can be difficult. The clouds can be helpful in orienting yourself, but sometimes when you're below the clouds, you know, it's very disorienting. You got to really look at your altitude indicator to make sure you don't hit the water. 15 miles here. 3 AMRAAMs remaining. Fox 3. And crank, reducing altitude here. Watching the altitude indicator. 5,000, 4,000. Don't hit the water. Alright. And we're gonna have to recommit here, and I saw him on radar there. Just had him there momentarily. Come on, where are you? Come on. He's changing altitude. There we go, got him. He was climbing, so the radar was having trouble picking him up there. 12,000 feet. Or sorry, 12 miles. 3,000 feet for me. I'm gonna do a bit of an offset here. 10 miles. Put him on the gimbal limit. 9.5 miles. 8 miles Fox 3. When you do that bit of an offset like that, you can push into the MAR a little bit. I'll talk about it in attack view after, if you want to stick around for that. I don't think he saw me. I had no radar indication from him. I think he's just defensive, and I actually see him, so I did a bore sight lock on him here. He's 8 miles. I'm chasing him down here. He is currently running away from me. He's cold. That circle on the HUD, that arrow at the top, is showing his nose direction, his aspect essentially. And you can see right now he's running away from me. I have him at 8.5 miles, and he's going to turn around. Look at this. He's coming back around to try to commit onto me. At 8.6 miles, I'm going to get that offset. As offset as I can go. And Fox 3. That might hit him. That was like 7 miles. That's 3 miles inside the MAR. And he definitely tried to lock me there, so I'm off cold. I don't know if he managed to get anything off, but I don't hear any launch notification. And where did he get hit? There he is. Yeah, splash 1. Yeah, they don't usually get away from 7 miles inside the MAR. I think we caught him disoriented as he was recommitting, and then, you know, 7 miles offset AMRAAM launch. He never stood a chance. Out over the water too, he's got nowhere to hide, nothing to hide behind. Alright, splash 1, Sukhoi 33. Alright guys, so super quick look at the last 2 missile shots for this little scenario we have here. This is me about 12 miles out, and I'm closing in, and you can see he has an altitude advantage on me. His altitude is about 15,000 feet. I'm down here at about 4,000 feet. And so what I do is I establish a little bit of an offset here at 10 miles. And so the idea here is, you know, we've talked about the MAR, the minimum abort range, being 10 miles. So my distance to him is 10 miles. And when you're in this, you know, you want to turn around and run. And if he shoots a missile, you'll get away, right? So one of the many things that affects the MAR is, it is kind of aspect in the sense that, you know, here's your 10-mile separation. 10 miles. And so what I can do is I can push in a little bit, but I'm already, instead of coming nose hot towards him, right, I just kind of establish this. And what happens is when I fire from here, the missile can do the work for me of turning in. It's well within its range to hit the target. It's got more than enough burn to make that turn and hit the target. But I'm already halfway in the exit turn. You see this? Instead of having to initiate from being nose hot and do this big turn, which takes a long time, and his missile can hit me, I'm already halfway through the turn, so I only have this little bit to do, right? So it's a very big difference from here to here, or from here to here, right? Very, very big difference in terms of how much of a turn I have to do to exit. And as soon as you're going cold, once your nose away, the MAR on that missile drops dramatically. So, you know, you're essentially safe. So that's what I'm trying to do. I got a little bit of an offset here. I'm going to take away the labels. And you'll see that as I do that, I'm pushing into the MAR. Remember, 10 miles is the MAR. We're now 9 miles, 8 miles. He sees me. He's committed onto me, it looks like. 8 miles. And I'm actually in a bit of a notch. Not exactly, but no, not exactly. It's close though. But you can see my aspect to him is pretty far off from a nose. So this would be nose hot. And I'm however many degrees that is. That looks like, I don't know, 45, 40 degrees maybe off like that. If this is 90, you know, approximately 40-ish degrees, 45 degrees. And you can see that that missile is now doing the turn for me at 7 miles, 8 miles, right? And I'm already halfway, 45 degrees through the turn, and I'm going to turn around and run. And that's going to make it much harder for his missile to hit me. I think he realizes the trouble he's in. He was unable to get a lock in time, so he just dives down to try to survive that missile. Which, you know, smart. That's probably what allows him to survive here. I realized that he didn't launch at me because at these ranges, as soon as he launches, that missile's essentially active off the rail. I didn't have tone, so I came right back in. So you can see me doing this, and then there was no tone, so I recommitted, right? He's defending, and then I used my helmet mounted sight and got a lock on him again from here. And at this point, I'm certain that he didn't fire a missile, and I'm going to follow up. While this missile keeps him defensive, I'm going to follow up. So he defeats that missile. And look at me now, I'm 8 miles behind him. And I'm still kind of, like, this is still very much an offset. But you'll see I can do even more. Right before I shoot, I really pull away from him. Here we are at 8 miles. At this point, I realize that he is recommitting. And as he recommits, I offset even more. And you can see it's 7 miles. That's a pretty dramatic offset, I would say. Again, if this is 90 degrees here, that's probably like a 30-40 degree offset there. And that missile immediately is giving him tone, which is why he freaks out and tries to defend. But you can see it's never going to be enough. He does look like he tries to notch it momentarily, but then he tries to run, and there's no running once you're inside the MAR. We've already talked about that. The MAR is the minimum abort range. Once you're inside the MAR, you cannot turn and run, right? So you have to decoy the missile. You have to notch and chaff, or beam and chaff. And he failed to do that, and that's why he dies. That missile hits him at, what's that? What's the speed on that missile? Mach 1.4 at impact. Okay, so that's going to be the video for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.